Sure. My name is Rick Barker. I'm founder of the Music Industry Blueprint, former manager at Taylor Swift, currently consult Big Machine Records, Live Nation on the merchandise side, and just came off a stint as the social media mentor for American Idol. And what I do is I help independent artists and managers and parents and investors navigate the music business. So that's my contribution to society. The artists that I worked with, I guess my biggest claim to fame is Taylor Swift. My background includes radio, records, and management. I got my start, I followed the talented people. I had no skills as far as singing, playing instruments, but I had a knack for promoting. So 15-year radio career in Santa Barbara. In 2001, I built a country station. Felt I was as qualified as anyone else. I grew up in Alabama and I knew who Johnny Cash was. So I felt that gave me an opportunity to do this. What I did at the time was I fell in love with the artist and the way that the country musicians treated their fans. Having done rock radio, having done hip hop radio, I wasn't used to seeing that. So in 2004, I became a problem solver. I tell people if you want to work in the business, find problems and create solutions for them. I created a touring model called Nashville To You, which meant if you couldn't get to Nashville, we'd get Nashville To You. And I took young up-and-coming artists that were recently signed to labels and was really helping them kind of learn to tour, learn to get in front of an audience. That caught the attention of Scott Borchetta, who was starting Big Machine Records at the time. He came to me and said, listen, I'm starting a label. I would love for you to be my West Coast regional. I had no idea what that was. What it basically meant is I had 7 states and 90 radio stations. I was responsible for getting music played. One of the artists that was on that label was a 15-year-old at the time named Taylor Swift. They sent her to me to teach her radio. That 30 days kind of changed both of our lives, and 6 months later I was asked to be her manager with 0 experience. I didn't go to college. I didn't have a music degree. I just had a passion for this young artist. And like I said, I was a problem solver, so it worked out really well and was with her for a couple years. Springboard this year for me was a lot of fun. I didn't know I'm not a panel guy. I hate being on panels. Most seminars and different things that you go to, all they do is bitch and complain about the same stuff they were bitching and complaining about the year before. And I'm a solutions guy. So when Barry gave me the opportunity to be a mentor, that's exactly what it was. It wasn't, here's panelist Rick Barker bragging about all the crap he's done in this business and you guys should like Rick because he's worked with a bunch of people. Folks that attended this conference, honestly, what can I do for them? You know, and that's what Springboard is. What makes it so different is it allows people one-on-one time with mentors. You know, I loved the question and answer. I'm a workshop guy. Let's roll up our sleeves, let's get dirty. And that's what Springboard allowed us to do. The management panel was a lot of fun, just hearing the stories with Matthew Knowles and Vicky and Dell. But the one I enjoyed the most was the impromptu one that we ended up setting up. Originally, it was going to be set up where people would come. It was a moment of truth, and they would play a minute, and then we would critique them. As a manager, I want to spend time with music. I want to spend time to get to know the artist. So we didn't feel it was fair for us to just listen to a music and tell somebody something that it wasn't relevant for them. So Barry, being Barry, said, you guys do what you want. I said, can we just make it an hour and a half long question and answer where the bands can come give us scenarios that's going on in their career and we can give them feedback? That turned out to be an awesome panel. It was amazing. We're in a world of reality. So I was able to say, hey, I'll show these guys who are doing it every single day how to package themselves and put it into a presentation that can help a lot of people. So that's what kind of came from this too, is many of the bands that I dug, a lot of great bands, a lot of super talent here. A lot more people at this conference, a lot more bands showed up to the panels, which was interesting. Most of them don't. They just want to have an industry person come see them play. Springboard showed me that these kids were interested in learning the business and learning, and that's what will make me want to miss my wife's birthday and spend Father's Day here versus with my family, is because these kids wanted it as much and I was able to make a difference. I just don't need to get on a panel and brag about the crap I've done. Who cares? You know, it's not about me, it's about what I can do for them. The way that the music business is today, that discovery model is gone. You know, the cool days of going to a club, seeing a band, giving them a card, bringing them in, loving on them, being able to spend a few years to develop them and really make that happen isn't happening as much anymore because their sales aren't there and the financing and the time. So labels, publishers, investors are looking for small businesses to invest in. So what Springboard did is Springboard allowed us the opportunity, the moment of truth. It's like, if you want someone to tell you how great you are, go to your mama and your choir director. You know, that's their responsibility and their job. Our job is to tell you how the business really works. Our job in the industry, we want to see social proof. We don't want to see that you have 1,000 followers. We want to see that you sold 500 records. You know, the numbers don't have to be drastic, but what I overheard a lot of people saying here at Springboard is, wow, it's kind of common sense. And Thomas Jefferson said common sense isn't always common practice. So it was great to be reminded by people actually in the industry that, yes, this is a business. This is what you need to do to set up the business. These are the people you need to have around you to protect your business. Not any of you. I asked a question. I said, how many people have made $300,000 last year? And not a single artist raised their hand. I said, well, if you had, your manager would have only made $45,000. I said, who can support themselves off $45,000? And I said, but all of you are in a position to get advice and need advice. That's mostly what it is that you need. So we tried showing them to surround your people, first off, with people that are passionate about you and your music, and they can learn the other things. I did, and I launched the biggest star in the world. I wasn't afraid to ask questions. I wasn't afraid to say I didn't know, and I heard that resonate panel after panel on people that I didn't even know on these panels. All were saying the same thing. Don't be afraid to go get education. Don't be afraid to go get knowledge. Doesn't necessarily mean a 4-year university. It means go find someone who's done it and get an opportunity to spend time with them. Stop asking industry people to pick their brain. Say, can I buy an hour of your time and ask you as many questions as I can in that hour? You pay for vocal lessons, you pay for guitar lessons, but for whatever reason, they're not willing to pay for the people who can do more for them than a vocal coach or a guitar coach. So that's what I loved. The Springboard message was, let's teach you how to set up your business properly. So be in a position to take advantage of whatever opportunity comes your way. Continue to educate yourself, continue to create great music, and remember, it's about the fan. It's not about you.